You join us here in Newcastle upon Tyne. We're with wb&sons Auctioneers, a new auction house based in the northeast. Now they had the first auction in May and the next one is coming up on August the 7th. And it's got some fantastic cars. And once again,
we've started at the minis, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm staying true to form and I'm starting with a Mini, but not just any Mini. Okay, there's not a lot of it.
Well, I was going to say, to the casual observer, this is just another Mini with a Clubman front end, right? But you're going to tell me lots more about it.
No, it's a South African only model, a 1275 GTS. So it's like the 1275 GT that we had in the UK, but you got a twin carb engine that was actually cast and built in South Africa. And in South Africa, they did local content by weight. So by having the engine cast there and built locally, they could satisfy the quotas for percentages.
Right, okay.
And that's what they did. And the GTS, it had a brilliant marketing slogan at the time. For little old ladies, it ain't, is what it had. And they made it from 73 to 79. And it had huge stripes down the side, which as you can see that this one has got ready to go on.
Right, okay, good.
And basically, yeah, just a 1275 GT turned up to 11. This one's an early 10-inch wheel car because they moved them up to 12 fairly soon. And you get things like the factory arch extensions and.
So I mean, obviously a lot is what you need to do to this car, but this doesn't, to someone who knows what they're doing, you could build this up quite easily because the essentials have been done, the body shell's been done.
The body shell's been done. It comes with the engine. It comes with that unique South African engine.
Yep.
And I just think, well, they're just great, aren't they? They're just a nice twist on the 1275 GT. I mean, a 1275 GT is rare enough in itself, but to have a GTS, yeah, I can see the appeal.
And I guess when you're restoring it, you could go to, get all your parts in the pickup truck.
You could get all your parts in the pickup, which again is a South African import. A 1966, well, the pickup's the rarest of all. So for every sort of, 5 vans, there's one pickup. So they are rare. Again, this one's come in from South Africa, as we said. And it looks pretty solid, doesn't it? It's just a good machine polish and a tidy, and I think you've got a very promising.
I think it's great. I
love
the look of a Mini pickup. But I mean, the great thing about this sale, Jeff, is that it's not just there's a lot of everyman classics in here from all ages. But what I really like, overshadowing the Minis, are these sort of really oddball stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
and of course I've done little or no research on any of these oddballs, but maybe we'll start at this Jurgens camper van conversion, because this is another South African car, right?
It is. It's a Jurgens Autovilla, and it's pretty big, isn't it? I mean, I think they call it the snail because of the shape of the sort of huge caravan back end. So recent import, lovely condition. I think it's been recently painted before it was.
Had some paint, didn't it, before it came over?
Before it came over.
I love that.
Look at that logo at the top there. That's fantastic, isn't it?
But if the terrain got a bit boggy, don't worry.
Yeah, it's a Unimog.
Now I've driven a new version, but I've not driven a bona fide classic one like this.
This is multiple gear levers. I think this is an 80s version, a 1986.
Is it? Right.
And look how, well, it's just a beast, isn't it?
For the car collector that's got everything and has run out of things to buy, you would buy a Unimog, I think.
Absolutely.
Now, I didn't know too much about this car before we arrived, but James was telling us all about this Invicta.
Yes, an Invicta Black Prince.
Right.
So there's only 12 of these, and only 2 with a Jensen body, and this is one of them. The other one's in Paris.
So there's a spare wheel in here.
Yeah, and it hydraulically lifts out, so you don't even have to lift your own spare wheel. And it's got hydraulic rams underneath for maintenance.
So it can lift itself up. I mean, this is space-age stuff, right?
Preheater, so all the fluids are warm before you, in winter, before you drive off. And this 3 litre straight 6.
And it's got 6 carbs or something.
Yeah, it's got 6 carbs, so you've got 3 carbs for starting. And then and 3 carbs for running around.
That's extraordinary.
So you've got only 3 used at one time, but it's just got the kind of technology on it. It's remarkable. Now this car was more expensive when new than the Bentley S1 parked next to it. So
phenomenal.
This is a 1950, and it just for the time,
it's revolutionary.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I have to confess. I mean, it's a new one on me.
It looks so stylish. I mean, it's just the Tesla of its day. It's technologically advanced.
Very technologically advanced, wasn't it? Yeah.
And of course, we've got 2 examples of the MGB here, Jeff. Everyone loves an MGB, and we've got a rubber bumper model and quite an early chrome model, yeah?
Yeah, this is an early pull handle car, so it's got the different door handles. This one's had a new hood. It's but it's the pack away hood. Right. So it's the one that you take off and fold away.
So this would be eminently collectible then, because this is on a B reg, so what, 63?
64, yeah. Very, very nice inside. Comes with a straw hat.
It looks in tidy condition, doesn't it? It's great. Like you say, with that new hood, that's really done all the basics, really.
Like you say, juxtaposed with the late rubber bumper car. This is either a 75 or a 76.
This doesn't offend me though. You know, I like the honesty of the condition of this. It's not riding on original wheels or anything like that. But if you just wanted a, you know, genuine classic to go out on a Sunday, go to a car show, I think this would be fine. This would an affordable way into sort of 60s sports car motoring, I think. Of course, another alternative is this Mark III Triumph Spitfire here.
Oh, what a lovely looking car that is.
It's a South African import again.
A South African import.
So it's a Valencia blue, I believe.
Oh.
I think that's what the colour is. Someone can tell me otherwise if I've got it wrong.
Yeah. A couple of little spec differences, haven't you? You've got quarter bumpers on the front.
Well, it looks like it's crying because actually these overriders are the wrong way around. So
yeah, it does look like they're upside down, doesn't it? I like the Mark III because I like the sort of higher bumper front end, but with the original type rear end. And I
utterly agree with you. And because they produce over 300,000 Spitfires in the 18-year production life, because it went from what 62 to 1980.
Yeah.
But the sort of these Mark IIIs are really rare, and yet I think they're the most desirable.
The right end on both ends, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think what a cracking car that is. But I'm also a big fan of the Herald.
Another Triumph.
Yes, another Triumph. And I really like the Herald. But the criticism of these, of course, is that they are quite gutless.
Yep,
not this one.
No, this one's got a Vitesse engine, so it's got the 6-cylinder in it. Awesome. Yeah, so it's had that retrofitted, and it's got GT6 rear end. So that's all been uprated. And the funny thing about this one is, there's an interesting story behind this one, because apparently the guy was, the owner was touring in Italy, and went into a restoration place and actually ended up having it restored in Italy and flying home while they did the work, and they've obviously done a really nice job of it. I think
they've done a cracking job with it, because I always loved the original looks of the Herald, but like you say, they've just sympathetically upgraded it, haven't they?
Yeah, and this is a 71 car, so it's one of the last. And it just reminds you, remember the one they had in the last of Summer Wine?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the trim's lovely in it, isn't it? It's really nicely presented.
I mean, the valuation reflects this, but really, what a fantastic example.
Yeah, I like that a lot. No, I could get on board with that. I definitely could.
I mean, we're really in golden era of British classics here, because this Lotus Elan here is well worth a look at.
Well, this is a very special car, because this was the 1969 Geneva Motor Show car to demonstrate the SE spec.
That's right, yeah.
So this is a S4.
They've been sympathetically restored as well, I believe, and actually it looks to a high standard as well. The finish is immaculate.
Well, it's been with the same family since new, which is remarkable. So
it's a local owner as well, I think. It's a local family, like you say.
It was sold from Lotus to the first owner, and then it's remained in that family ever since. And it's actually been restored by the sister company of wb&sons, B Modern Classic. So they know this car throughout.
It's got a Sprint engine.
Yeah, it's been upgraded to Sprint specification. So you get the big valve head, you know, the hotter cam, that sort of thing.
I just think it's fabulous, and those sort of grey mini lights just offset it.
Yeah, absolutely
fabulously.
And it's got the provenance as well, isn't it? It's got the history. So if you were looking for
one.
Yeah,
69 Geneva show car, like you say, yeah, that's going to be worth the money all day long.
This one underneath has had a galvanised chassis as well.
Yes, that's right. Yes, it's had the rust treatment, hasn't it? So that's great.
All upgraded, all sensible upgrades, just to make it just right.
Yeah.
And it is just right, isn't it?
So from our delicious 1969 Lotus, we've got a decade later, 1979 Mark II Granada, all the gear and no idea. Perfect spec, 2.8 V6. I love this, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Pre-facelift car, and I reckon this has got to be just about the cleanest pre-facelift Mark II Granada I have ever seen.
Look inside of that gorgeous brown sort of squidgy velour.
Valorious, I'm going to bring it out again.
Yep, can never do that pun often enough.
No.
Now, I didn't know this, but the 1979 is the peak sales year for the Mark II Granada.
37,000 miles.
Low mileage.
Incredibly low.
Immaculate condition.
6-digit plate. It's just all there, isn't it?
Brown vinyl roof.
Exactly, it's just absolutely immaculate.
So this or a Rover SD1, Jeff, what would you have?
I'd have this.
Me too. And I love an SD1. It's not the only Ford stuff here though, Jeff. We've also got this Tickford Capri, which I know would be on your Christmas card.
Yes, it very much would. Very much would.
Rally Spec Mark 1. You know a bit more about this one, this Mark 2 Escort, right?
Yes, so this is a later car. It has the early grille without the blue oval in the middle, but it's actually a later car, a V-Reg, I think.
Yeah.
And well, this is super, super clean. It's a signal yellow Mark II Ford Escort with fishnet Recaros. To me, that doesn't really get much cooler than that.
I mean,
and this thing is utterly immaculate. All powder coated underneath, fantastic. All the way through, it's immaculate. It's got a 1640 Burton crossflow in it, really nicely detailed, really nicely detailed.
I think it's probably one of the cleanest Mark IIs I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. So the best thing about this one is just feast your eyes on that engine bay.
It's great, isn't it?
Look at that, with the twin Webers, just so clean, really neatly presented.
There's a Sapphire Cosworth here, look at that, great.
Yeah, late Sapphire Cosworth as
well.
well.
A K-plate, yeah, that's
4x4,
very late.
380 horsepower engine in this one, so that's pretty special.
I mean, I can't believe the values of these things, crazy.
I know.
But look, same sort of vintage, TVR Chimera.
Yes, well, I'm a big fan of these.
So I think these came out at roughly the same time as the MGR V8.
I know.
And I know which one I'd rather have on the driveway, and it's this.
It's this, isn't it? Yeah.
Blackpool Beast. They didn't make that many. I sort of, for a time, I just thought they were everywhere, but actually they only made just over 5,000 of them, I believe. But I've got to trot out probably a well-trodden, it's either a fact or a myth, but I still love the story anyway, but about how when they styled the Chimera, the factory dog took a bite out of the clay buck that they were making and took a chunk out of here, and that was effectively maintained to be the housing for the indicator.
It does look kind of like teeth marks, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just think this was a bit of a golden era for TVR, wasn't it? Because I mean, this was meant to replace the Griffith, wasn't it? But the Griffith itself was selling so well that they thought, well, they might as well have them on sale side by side.
Now, someone's already set me a challenge today, which I have to confess I completely failed. To get out of this car, you turn this knob here in the direction to release the doors. But I'm going to confess I didn't know that.
A ridiculous, but in a great way, British sports car.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, it's not all about sports cars in this
Not all about brute
No.
force. Absolutely, we've got some lovely everyman stuff.
There is some wonderful everyman classics, and this Volvo 340 DL.
Well, of course, Joe, our man behind the camera, has done a review on.
He has indeed.
The one that we had as a project car for a little while. This is an earlier one than the one we had in the magazine, though. This is an '83 car.
Very, very lovely example. All original paint. The owner has sort of zinc-plated parts under the bonnet and made sure everything's lovely. 24,000 miles. Interior, absolutely wonderful. This is now quite a unicorn, isn't it? But absolutely lovely.
But I mean, talking of unicorns.
Well, yeah.
You don't get more unicornish than this.
Is that a word?
No. Than this Vauxhall Nova Saloon.
4-door as well.
Exactly. I mean, the Saloon.
I remember these at the time because they didn't have the funky wings, did they, with the sort of
right.
box effect. These had the regular sort of arches. And
I love it. It's a really low mileage car. What, 10,000 miles?
10,000 miles.
It's a facelift car with the slatted grills. There was another facelift after this, I believe.
Yes, I think they had a little smaller. A few extra details, didn't they?
But yeah, they produced over 500,000 of these, I think, in the 10 years they were in production between about 83 and 93, when it was all unified under the Corsa name. But there's less than 1,000 left in the UK.
There can't be many 4-door saloon merits, can
And
there?
of those, yeah, how many 4-door merits are there? Because some of them are going to be GTEs and SRIs and all the sort of...
Well, I love that. All in black with the Caramac interior.
It's so original.
It's so lovely, isn't it?
It's glorious, I
You'd
think.
have to fight the urge, unfortunately, not to stick a red top in there.
Yeah.
You've got to keep this one original.
I think I'd make that condition to the sale. Whoever buys it must not put a red top in there. I think that's only fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a great selection of cars, though, Jeff.
Really impressive. So you've got really everything, haven't you? From Sierra Cosworths and 1950s Bentleys down to...
Well, that's right. Any sale that's got a Unimog, an Invicta, there's a Porsche Turbo over there, there's an E36 M3, Sierra Sapphire Cosworth, Nova Merits. I mean, what a collection.
Absolutely fantastic.
There actually aren't many cars in this haul that I wouldn't want to take home myself.
No, I'd concur with that.
So when's the sale again, Jeff?
The sale's on August the 7th. they take an abundance of photos. They'll do walk-around videos. There's YouTube videos on each car, so you can sort of buy from confidence from elsewhere as well. So it's ideal, really.
It's easy to get to though here. Got to come up to the nice sunny northeast. It's not sunny today, but that's all right. But yeah, you're right. There's loads of descriptions on the website. We'll put some details in our description.
We will.
To give you sort of links to the website and everything, so you can have a perusal around. But yeah, what a great sale. Happy bidding.
Yeah.